Patricia Morgan.
Hi, Kate.
Gubernatorial candidate as well on the GOP side. I wanted you to come on today. The revised PawSox legislation is going before House Finance. This is a very recent development. We're in the final inning of the General Assembly session. What were your thoughts when you saw this?
I just question the basic premise, to be honest with you, that government should be investing in a baseball stadium. And that's the only way we can ever get economic development or economic expansion in Rhode Island is to have a stadium. It's ludicrous, the foundation of their thought that, honestly, Pawtucket is going to be roaring in just a few years if only we spend $83 million on a baseball stadium. Their original premise is wrong. And beyond that, the people of Rhode Island know it's wrong, and they don't want this stadium. It's a private business. What are we doing creating this huge pot of money for a private business? Let them create their own pot of money.
So the new legislation talks about a TIF to make this possible with the income from what would ostensibly be built around the stadium. Is it a lot to be asking the taxpayers to saying, if we build it, they will come and pay this off?
You mean the whole thing is built on hopes and dreams? Yeah, hope is not a good economic development strategy. We can hope as much as we want. We look down at the 195 land. We are hoping for how long now? It's been 8 years? It's
been a while.
Longer.
Yeah.
We're going to hope that gets filled and that we have economic activity there. Now we're going to spend $83 million. I think it's going to be much more in the end. Well, absolutely we know it because of the borrowing costs that they don't put in there. So even with the borrowing costs, we're looking at north of $100 million, probably more. Hope is not a strategy. We actually have to go back, and I've said this over and over and over again, so she's tired of hearing it. But we have things that are just, we have bad practices, bad policies, too many regulations. There are things that we should be working on if we really want to ignite the economy in Rhode Island, but a baseball stadium isn't one of them.
Now, we saw the release from the Rhode Island GOP today, again, in opposition to this. You and your colleagues are pretty much all on board with the same position. If this goes through, and we've seen some polling numbers from the state as to where residents stand on it as well, what does this bode for the election year?
I keep wondering when the people of Rhode Island are going to understand that even though their rep smiles at them on the sidewalk, they're not voting on their behalf in their best interest. We've seen, how many things over the past many years? 38 studios, the tolls, now this. How many times do you get smacked before you say, I've got enough? We'll have to see.
Well, we are certainly in the full swing of election mode. We're going to keep an eye on the PawSox legislation as it moves to House Finance today. But I just want to talk with you because you've been everywhere. You are on the campaign trail. You were also in court.
I have gone to court now.
So tell folks a little bit about this. We've spoken about it before, but the legal battle that you're taking on.
That's right. So our state was blessed, quite frankly, to get $230 million from Google. It's called the Google Settlement Fund. It had to do with prescription drugs, illegal prescription drugs that they were allowing to be sold on the website. So we got that money, and it's been sitting over here, and it's been being spent, and nobody knows where it's been spent. But how I started thinking about it was after the Parkland shooting. Our schools need to be safer. They need to have more security measures around them. Anyone who's been to a school knows you can go in a back door, you can go in the front door. There's not a whole lot of security measures to keep a potential shooter on the outside so the kids inside are safe. So I was thinking about it, and I remembered the Google settlement money. I called the Attorney General's office. They are very uncooperative. I've got to tell you, they somehow think that they don't have to have transparency and accountability like the rest of us. I asked them how much money was left. They wouldn't tell me. We went to the budget office. The budget office didn't know. So that should be a tip-off to everybody that this money has pretty much gone without any scrutiny. So I handed in an APRA request, which is an access for public records. The Attorney General denied it. So you appeal. Well, guess who you appeal it to? The Attorney General. So, of course, he denied that appeal. So at this point, I have gone to Superior Court, and I have a date with the judge and the Attorney General. It is on June 15th at 9:30 in the morning at Kent County Superior Court. I am asking the court to waive the $3,770 that the Attorney General wants to charge me to get those documents. Clearly, Kate, you must know that they're charging me that money to discourage me. I don't have $4,000.
And as an elected official, we've talked about this as well. Whether you're a constituent, whether you're in the press, you can provide APRAs. But from an elected official standpoint,
there is a state law that says that he must give them to me. I am a decision maker. I'm on the finance committee. I'm on the oversight committee. So there is a state law that says he's supposed to give them to me free of charge, but somehow he doesn't follow that law, doesn't want to follow it. I think it's troubling that the Attorney General doesn't want to share them with the people of Rhode Island. I think there is a real public interest here. I think we should know how the money was spent and why. I mean, I can give you some things that my preliminary investigation has ferreted out. We rented a big generator for $75,000. Could have been bought for $10,000. The Attorney General bought 3 Chevy Impalas from a dealership north of Boston. Okay? We have now the Attorney General's office. Who knew they had so many customer service requests? I want to see the documents that say they were overwhelmed with the people who were looking for service from the Attorney General's office. Because we spent $15 million on a brand new building. It has to be staffed. It has to be maintained for decades now. To give out, I don't know, BCI checks.
So last question with you, June 15th. I'm definitely going to mark my calendar for this.
You must come.
Do you have counsel or are you representing yourself?
I am representing myself. So the original bill was $3,770. I don't have that. Clearly, hiring an attorney would be even more. So I'm doing this, what's known as pro se. But the people down at Superior Court have been very helpful in showing me how to make out the forms and what to write and stuff. So I'll just go. I'm there representing the people of Rhode Island. I think you deserve the answers, and I want them.
Well, I'm glad you took the time to stop in to talk with us here today about the PawSox legislation and where you are in that fight to get the information pertaining to the Google money. Minority Leader Patricia Morgan, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you,
We'll talk
Kate.
soon. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back here at the Rhode Island State House.